button. There's our record button. Okay. So we are finishing up of Mice and Men. So did everyone read chapter 6? Yes? No? Couple people? Hey. All right. Anyone cry? Almost cry? Okay. So yeah, it's sad. It's not the easiest thing to almost. It's not the easiest thing to read or even understand why it happened. But we're going to go through and just watch a couple clips of the endings of the ending of the book. And the first clip is of Lenny and George. This is after George finds Lenny hiding in the bushes, and Lenny is asking George what's going to happen, where are they going to go now, and you know, what their future is going to be. Okay, so let me. I'm losing my places over here. Share my screen. Okay, everyone see my screen? Okay, thumbs up when you can hear it.
George? Yeah. Ain't you gonna give me help? Like you done before? Like if I didn't have you, I'd take my $50, go into a cat house.
Jesus Christ, Lenny. You can't remember nothing that happens. You remember every word I say.
I thought you was mad at me, George.
No. I ain't mad. I ain't never been mad.
You ain't gonna leave me, George. I knew you ain't.
Nope.
Just like that. I done a bad thing.
Don't make no difference.
Where are we gonna go now?
I don't know.
I like it here. Tell me like you done before. About them other guys and about us. Don't tell like you done before.
Okay.
Okay. So why do you think Lenny is wanting him to explain what's happening? Like, why do you think Lenny is wanting him to go back to talking about what they're going to do, what's going to happen? Like, why do you think Lenny needs that comfort? Why do you think Lenny needs him to tell him about things that were before? Okay, because he's scared. All right. He doesn't remember. Okay. Do you think that him hearing the words come out of George, do you think that gives him a comfort, like a kind of a peace and a Well, the only word that's coming to my mind is comfort and peace, but just a guidance and where like he can kind of have something to look forward to. Okay, yes, okay. All right. So, and he looks up to George, doesn't he? And George is kind of like the older brother. He looks up to George, and George is the kind of safe spot for him. George is safe, and George is the one who he's always turning to and things like that. Okay. Okay. Now, the next clip. Now, I'll be honest with you, this one is not the easiest to watch. Yeah, kind of like reassurance. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, this is the hardest one to watch out of the whole entire piece because this is the one where George shoots Lenny. Okay. So if you guys can't watch this one, I totally understand. It's hard. It is hard to watch. But this is the one where so I'm just giving you some information that this is what's going to happen. So if you choose not to watch this one, that's totally fine. But this is the movie clip in which George shoots Lenny. Okay. So if you choose not to watch this one, you are more than welcome to not watch this one, this particular one.
Don't tell him like you done before. Okay. Okay. You look over there. Okay, I'll tell you. So you can almost see it. Okay? Come on. Over there. Okay, over there. Guys like us, they got no family. And they ain't got nobody in the world that gives a hoot in hell about it. But not us. That's it, George. But not us. Tell about us now.
Not us.
Because?
Because I got you.
And I got you, George. That's what that gives a hoot in hell about us. George, but tell now how it's gonna be.
We're gonna get a little place.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah. We're gonna get a little place and we're gonna have
a cow, some pigs. We're gonna have maybe a chicken. Down the flat, we'll have a little field.
feed the alfalfa for the rabbits.
The rabbits.
And I get to tend the rabbits.
Okay. So everyone's okay? Everyone's okay? Okay. So yeah, that was hard to watch. And it's hard to see that, you know, you're having to hurt your friend. Bree's not. Bree. Why are you watching this, Bree? You're not in this class. Okay. So so yeah, it's hard when you're looking at this and you're watching this and knowing that they care about each other and their family, and they have to go through this terrible thing in order to save the other person. And that's all that George is trying to do. He's trying to save Lenny from something horrible, because what do you think would happen to him if George would not have shot him? If George would not have shot him, what do you think would have happened? Okay, so he would have been mistreated by other men. Like, but what do you mean, like other men? Like, what do you mean mistreated? So, like, explain that. Okay, they would have shot him multiple times and made him suffer. So, made him suffer how? Making him go through a lot of pain. So they would have physically hurt him, right? They would have they would have tortured him. They would have tortured him, right? And so George thought that he was providing a service to Lenny, right? So making sure that Lenny wasn't gonna die in pain. Okay, because he knew he was going to be killed no matter what, but he wasn't going to die being tortured to death. Okay, so and then but there were things throughout the story that told us that these things were going to happen. There were things that told us about all these things that were going to happen and about these things that were coming up in the book. And so but I do want to talk about a few things that happened. Let me pull up my questions. I've got lots of little questions I would love to ask you. I'm just trying to grab them here. Let's talk about like when Lenny is hiding in the bushes. So when Lenny's hiding in the bushes and he's waiting for George, he has a couple of hallucinations. So what are the hallucinations and what do you think they mean? Let's talk about his hallucinations. It's a rabbit and his aunt, right? So why do you think he has, what's the significance of the rabbit and his Aunt Claire and a giant rabbit, right? His past and a possible future. Okay, so what's the significance of that? And what are they telling him? What are they saying to him? The rabbit getting him in trouble, knows George is never going to let him take care of the rabbits again. He treated George wrong. Okay. Why do you think Steinbeck decided to use that as something in the book? Why do you think that that was something that he wanted to highlight to the reader? Okay, because they were both something significant to Lenny. Okay, all right. And it goes along, can also go along with the mental illness that Lenny has as well, with the hallucinations and things like that he faces, and that stress builds up, and it goes along with that as well. Okay, so right before George shoots Lenny, okay, not only in the scene that you saw, but in the book, what's interesting about the way the dialogue is happening there? What's different about the way that George is talking? He's hesitant. Okay. George is calm. He's sadder. Okay. Okay, he's calm, so he doesn't upset Lenny. Okay. He spoke in a monotone voice, right? So when you're speaking in a monotone voice, what do you think that kind of means when you're speaking in a monotone voice? One voice, no emotion. You're trying to hide your emotions. Okay. Is it possible that he's trying to hide the emotion from himself as well? Yes. Okay. What about is talking in that tone and using the way in the way that he's talking and being quiet and kind of emotionless and things like that? Is he kind of trying to talk himself into doing what he has to do to shoot Lenny? Like, is there something? Yeah, because he was hesitant, right? Because he didn't really want to do it. This is his brother, his friend, the person that he spent his whole life with. So yeah, I mean it's hard. So it's something he's trying to convince himself to do this, and it's something he doesn't really want to do. So, but yes, so that's definitely talking himself into it. So after he shoots him, after George shoots him, okay, Slim comes up and says, "Hey, George, you had a George. I swear you had a. Do you think this is true? Do you think this is true? Do you think that he had to shoot Lenny? He absolutely had to." Okay, I've got a no. Okay. Yes, because he would have suffered if he let other men shoot him. Yes, to keep him away from Curly and Carlson. Okay. Okay, so the person that said no, why do you say no? Why do you say no? Oh, because he didn't have to shoot him. He could have let him suffer, but he didn't want to. Okay, I got you. So he didn't have to, but he didn't want to let him suffer. I got you. Okay. So he didn't have to shoot him, but he cared about him enough not to let him suffer. I see. Okay. So so now that Lenny's gone, we've still got Candy and George, and they were planning on getting a farm together with Lenny. Okay. So, but why can't Candy and George still get that farm together? Okay. So why do you think that they can't get that farm together? And why does George turn away from Candy? Okay, Lenny isn't involved, and it was Lenny's idea too. Okay. Because he doesn't see a future without Lenny. All right. Lenny looked forward to the farm. All right, good. He didn't want to do it without Lenny, right? So all of these, yes, I mean, all of this stuff, Lenny was always part of this plan. It was never going to be without Lenny, ever, ever, ever. And yes, Candy came along and Candy was part of it, but it was always still with Lenny. And it was never, he's not going to continue without Lenny. Lenny is not there, so it's just not going to happen. It's not part of the plan anymore. So, which is sad. I mean, in a sense, because, our lives do go on when things happen, when bad things do happen. But he doesn't see it that way. And so, this farm in his mind is never going to happen. This farm of his dream is never going to happen because Lenny is not there. Lenny is not there to share it with him. So, so in the last paragraph, it says, Curly and Carlson looked after them. And Carlson said, now, what the hell you suppose is eating them two guys? All right, so what is interesting about that last paragraph? What is interesting about that last paragraph? Okay, Carlson's trying to understand why they feel bad for Lenny. Okay. Like Curly and Carlson don't notice Slim and George cared about Lenny. Okay. I mean, what usually happens? What do people usually do when someone loses a friend? What do people usually do when someone loses a friend? What is the normal social etiquette of people who lose a friend or a loved one? What happens? They mourn and they try to help them, right? They comfort them. Right, right. And what Curly and Carlson are saying is, what's wrong with them? What do you suppose is bothering them? So what is this saying? What is this? Why is this interesting? Why does Steinbeck show this as one of the last things that's said in the book? Because he wants readers to see that Curly and Carlson only cared for themselves while the other ranch hands cared for each other. Okay. Anybody else have an idea? Just waiting to see if anyone else wanted to put anything in the chat box or anything. Anyone else have an idea? I mean, that's a pretty good remark. It's showing the total lack of empathy surrounding them. I mean, there is no one feels, I mean, they're not showing any sorrow, or any support for the loss of them losing their friend or a loved one. And it's just really showing the harshness of the time period and everything. It's just like, all right, let's get back to work. Your friend's gone. It's over and done with. Let's just move right along. So it's really a sad situation, I mean, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that in regards to that time period and the way people thought? They might not have known what to do after someone died. Okay. You feel like it's wrong. Lenny meant a lot to George and everyone knew that. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it kind of pulls at your heartstrings, right? It's just, you know that it's not something that's the right way to feel. Right. So, okay. All right. So, so that's the book. Okay. The book is over. The book has ended. All right. We have gone through the book. And while it's sad, it does teaches a lot of things about the world. Okay. About things that happened in that time period, during that time period of migrant workers, and how people were and how they acted and how people thought about things. And it's kind of eye-opening about what was going on, and how people looked at others and how people took care of each other and things like that. It also it's a really good story about friendship and brotherhood, and how strong a bond can be, especially when you look out for each other and when you're having each other's backs. So, but let's talk about what you're gonna work on for today, and for today's assignment. So let's look at your classroom page. Whoops, we got people getting kicked out left and right. All right, so on your classroom page, everyone can see your class over here. All right, so you got your vocab for day 4. Only 2 more vocab lessons left, and then you're done with vocab for the rest of the year. I know. So you have an Of Mice and Men, a document analysis. If you haven't finished part 2 of this, which I know most of you have not because you're not there, only 3 people have turned this in, so please get this done. So finish your part 2 of a mouse, or to a mouse of the mouse. Can't speak today. Finish that. You have Of Mice and Men document analysis. This looks just like all the other document analysis that you've seen before. You will read the document here and you will answer the questions down here. Okay. You will have to open this in DocHub. All right. Use DocHub to open this and answer the questions. Okay. So please do all of these questions here. Okay. There are 4 of them. Okay. And then animal imagery of men. So what this is it's showing that, so Lenny is constantly portrayed with animal-like words. Okay. Paws, strong as a bull, and growled. So using the chart below, look again at the animal imagery in the novel and comment on the effect of each quotation. Give an example. An example is given for number 1. So here's the quote: dragging his feet a little the way a bear drags his paws. So, and this is going to be your explanation. Okay. So this gives the feeling of Lenny lumbering along a road with the power of a bear, unpredictable, strong, and potentially violent. So you're going to take the quotes and then you're going to give your commentary, your own ideas of what this means about Lenny. Okay. Does everybody understand that? Okay. And you're going to, but this is all related to an animal. So make sure that you're thinking about the animal that it's comparing Lenny to and what that means, like how, and relate that to your commentary. Okay. That you're putting over here. Okay. And then you will do a pie paragraph. So you will complete this. Okay. And then you will write a paragraph down here at the bottom. Guys, please do not just fill out the pie template. Please don't do that. Okay. A lot of you are just filling out the template and then not doing anything else. You have to write a paragraph after you're done. I know that we've talked about the pie paragraph before. We did it very quickly, I think, last time. Do we need to go over the pie paragraph like in detail? Because we actually have a little bit more time to do that today. Okay. Please make sure that you're answering these. Okay, answer these questions in these boxes. All right. Do the pie paragraph correctly. Okay. And then let's see. And that all of that and these, so these 3 assignments are due on Friday. No, wait, Monday. Tomorrow's Friday. Okay. Any questions on any of that? Any questions on any of that? Everyone's shaking their head. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, that's all I have for you today. So make sure that if you do have any questions, send me an email. I'm still working on grades, so I will continue to work on getting everything updated. Remember, all late work needs to be turned in by next Friday, which is the 21st. That is the last day I am accepting anything. And I will let you all know who is exempt from the final by next Friday. You must have an 80% in order to be exempt from the final. If you don't have an 80% by next Friday, you will not be exempt from the final exam. Okay, so which is going to be taken on the, hang on, I'll tell you what day. The final exam will be on Thursday, May 27th at 8:30 in the morning. Okay, so if you don't want to take the final exam at 8:30 in the morning, then you need to have an 80% in the class. Okay. All right, guys. You all have a great day, and I will see you all on Monday. Have a good one. Bye.